The Happiness Hypothesis, by Haidt. The Faults of Others. Americans have had plenty of recent examples to enjoy a laugh at the expense of hypocrites. Consider Rush Limbaugh, a conservative radio host who once advocated for harsh penalties for drug users but was later exposed for illegally purchasing a painkiller. Then there's Congressman Ed Schrock, an opponent of gay rights who was caught leaving explicit messages on a phone sex line. The irony of moralists being brought down by their own moral failings is like a well-told joke. It's a source of entertainment and allows people to feel a sense of moral superiority without the need for action. Contempt, the emotion it evokes, is easily shared through stories and gossip, creating bonds between individuals who share a common moral stance. However, it's essential to remember that hypocrisy is universal, and condemning others' hypocrisy often blinds us to our own faults. Social psychologists have uncovered mechanisms that explain our hypocrisy. While this challenges our moral certainties, it can also free us from destructive moralism and divisive self-righteousness. Keeping up appearances. It's a natural human tendency to rationalize our actions. We do this to maintain our self-esteem and social relationships. But this tendency can be both helpful and harmful. It can prevent us from seeing things clearly and making good decisions. Let's take a student who cheated on a test, for example. They might justify their actions by saying the test was unfair or the teacher didn't teach the material well. To be more rational thinkers, we need to challenge our own assumptions and beliefs. We should be open to considering evidence that contradicts our preconceived notions. Find your inner lawyer. Our inner lawyer constructs convincing stories, sometimes knowingly false, that we tend to believe. It's like we're representing ourselves in court. Motivated reasoning worsens this tendency. We search for supporting evidence and lack opposing evidence. Under pressure, like a client caught cheating on taxes, we intensify this one-sided search for supporting evidence. It's like we're on a cognitive mission to back our preferred belief or action. Ben Franklin recognized this tendency in himself. He acknowledged the human capacity to find or make reasons for any action. The rose-colored mirror. Our conscious reasoning, the writer, works closely with our unconscious self, the elephant, to succeed in life. But we often present ourselves as virtuous and cooperative, even if it's not true. Studies reveal that Americans and Europeans often rate themselves as above average on various traits. This is less prevalent in East Asian cultures. We tend to overestimate our own virtue while accurately assessing others. But, when presented with real data, we lower our estimates of others but maintain our positive self-assessments. This bias affects group dynamics as individuals tend to overestimate their contributions. This can lead to mutual resentment in cooperative settings. While this bias can promote mental health and happiness, it can also lead to entitlement conflicts. It's important to be aware of this bias and its impact on our interactions with others. I'm right, you're biased. Research by George Lowenstein found that when negotiators knew their roles from the start, they exhibited biased thinking, with over a quarter failing to reach an agreement. Attempts to debias negotiators by making them aware of self-serving biases were generally unsuccessful. However, having subjects read about self-serving biases and then write an essay highlighting weaknesses in their own case reduced their righteousness and improved fairness. Naive realism, the belief that we perceive the world as it truly is and others are biased by their interests or ideologies, can hinder efforts to recognize self-serving biases. This perspective can lead to group-level conflicts, with each group believing they see the truth while others are biased. Satan satisfies. In the 1990s, Americans were searching for villains despite peace and harmony ascendant. Drug dealers, child abductors, homosexuals, and racists were all vilified. The problem of evil has bedeviled many religions since their birth. Religions have generally chosen one of three resolutions of this paradox. Religions have generally chosen one of three resolutions of this paradox. From a psychological perspective, Manichaeism makes perfect sense. Our life is the creation of our mind, as Buddha said. The search for a villain is a way to create a mission from God or fight for some more secular good. It's a way to create allies and enemies. The myth of pure evil. According to social psychologist Roy Baumeister, those we perceive as evil rarely see themselves as such. They often justify their actions as responses to perceived provocations, even considering themselves victims. He challenges the notion of pure evil, highlighting that many instances of violence involve complex dynamics. Violence is rarely motivated by pure sadism or greed. Baumeister identified four main causes of violence: greed/ambition, sadism, high self-esteem, and moral idealism. High self-esteem, particularly when unrealistic or narcissistic, can lead to violence when threatened. Moral idealism, the belief that violence serves a moral end, has been a driving force behind many major atrocities. It often justifies extreme actions in pursuit of what is seen as a righteous cause, sometimes disregarding legal and moral constraints. Baumeister's work emphasizes the importance of understanding the underlying causes of violence and the role of self-esteem and moral idealism in shaping human behavior. It challenges simplistic narratives of good versus evil. Finding the Great Way. These human constructs are real in their own way, but exist only if we believe in them. It's like fairies in Peter Pan or The Matrix. Several mechanisms create a web of significance filled with moral judgments and hypocrisy. It can seem both silly and tragic. But Eastern philosophies like Hinduism and Buddhism teach us the importance of understanding life as a game. Perform your role without being attached to outcomes. Meditation and cognitive therapy can help control automatic reactions and judgments. Recognizing one's own faults is crucial to overcoming judgmentalism and hypocrisy. Ultimately, understanding the mind's biases and mechanisms allows individuals to step out of ancient patterns of social manipulation. Choose a path toward happiness and acceptance.